Is it working? Okay. So I guess they released. I'm late to the party. They released these a starter guide, right, for this Guilty Gear Strive thing. So I looked at the footage a little bit. I'm gonna give you what stuck out to me the most, right, and that you guys can play with if you get the beta, right. The main thing that stuck out to me, first of all, was that he can Shinakuma again. And if you don't know what Shinakuma is, it's one of the things I wanted to know if it was in the game or not. Shinakuma is originally a strategy that I found way, way back during the early days of Guilty Gear, where you could basically cancel the recovery of Kai's air fireball, and it allowed you to do two air fireballs or all sorts of stuff, right? So that's why I called it Shinakuma, because you could do even two air fireballs or whatever you wanted to do, right? And that's one of the things that really stuck out to me because it's something that they ended up taking away from games, which is unfortunate. They didn't totally take it away, but they made it instead of making it like a real strategy, they made it like a combo video kind of thing. Like you can still do it, and I've done it in a lot of combo videos when I've showed it off before that it's still possible, but they took away it as a legitimate kind of strategy, which is unfortunate because, to my knowledge, only me and a couple other Japanese guys have ever showed that it was like done it in real matches. And history lesson for people out there that don't know my story, that is actually one of the first things that I remember back when I was a kid. I posted on the forums you could do, and the moderators deleted the post and said it was not possible. And then later on, the Japanese started doing it, and then they tried to give them credit, which I was pretty salty about. And it's also the thing, if you're old enough to remember, that it's what I first showed off when I got the basically quadruple perfect on Ricky in that tournament, and it is almost a quadruple perfect because people would like it. People did not know it was possible. Anyway, get that history lesson out of the way. So what did I notice about this? What is the Shinakuma? And let me show you what the Shinakuma is right here and why it's interesting and why you should like try it out. Because it's possible you'll be able to find out a lot of things about how the game works, right? So he does the Shinakuma. Where does he do the Shinakuma? We'll see, right? He's doing this there. And see, so normally why this is interesting and why you should try it out is because normally the air fireball has two sets of recovery, right? Um, it has the recovery of the fireball itself, and then it has the ground recovery. So it has like two separate recoveries, right? So basically, when you would Shinakuma in the old games, and the reason not a lot of people did it is because it actually, again, I'm not a frame data monster, but it was only possible. It was only like a few frame window you could do it, right? It wasn't unrealistic. I mean, it's something like I said, I've won tournaments before doing it when people didn't even know about it. But so anyway, he shoots a fireball, and normally he has that fireball recovery just from that, and then he would have lander recovery, right? So he air dashes after it, now, when you air dash in old games, air dash, although you cancel the fireball recovery with the air dash, unless you do the bug to cancel then the landing recovery, you would still have landing recovery. But we can't see if the game stores the landing recovery since he does another fireball. But that would be something, a good chance to see if that's possible in the game. And normally before, if you jump though, air dashing keeps the landing recovery, which you have to use the glitch to get rid of, or you can jump, which will take away the recovery because certain things, whatever the priority is. I don't want to get too nerdy with you guys, but it's very interesting though that they showed it off because again, back in the day before they removed it, only me and a couple other Japanese guys ever showed it being done as legit strategies in real matches, right? So the fact that they're showing it is kind of scary because does that mean it's just like brain dead easy? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, because if they're showing something that was a technically pretty advanced strategy before as something that is normal, that's quite strange, And normally before, if you're doing the slash version of the fireball, you can't even air dash unless you were to do like a super jump, which is something totally different, without getting too technical. So it's very interesting that they would go purposely show off the Shinakuma when they've actually gone tried to take it out of games, right? So it's very interesting too because of the way the game works with like air combo wise. I mean, man, if Kai doesn't really have air combos quotation marks, right? What's to just stop Kai from doing oh I hit a couple of hits in the air, then I'm going to be doing the air fireball, and it looks like the recovery is so little. This is Kai's mix-up. Kai's going to be super annoying doing Shin Akuma stuff now if it's so brain dead easy. Anytime you randomly hit the guy in there, couple hits, whatever, since you don't get the full air combo, fireball, you Shin Akuma it, and you go for whatever mix-up, right? So that's something that really stuck out to me, that the Shin Akuma looks to be so easy. Something else that stuck out to me, I just want to talk about. So it looks like they're showing off. Where is he doing? So he doesn't have lightsaber, great saber anymore. He has this flip kicky thing. Where do they show it off? I'm sorry, I don't. So he has this. So normally, of course, when they're talking about this new um, electrified state, I don't know what they called it in the English. I was watching the Japanese thing, but so normally when he does this, this move doesn't have that much stun, right? But when it's electrocuted, not there, that was an air hit. But when it's electrocuted, they purposely go and show off that you can then link after it, right? So my question is though with the electricity, and they also showed off, they seem to be implying when you're electrified that when you slide, the big blue fireball is guaranteed after a slide if they've been electrocuted. So my thought process is, what stops them from being electrified? Like once you do one, so you got to electrocute them, and then once you do a move that has a electrocution buff, they need to be electrocuted again. Because I mean, if you're just to look at this, if it's a set time frame, you know what I mean. If Kai is doing this, so he's electrocuted. So now I'm just gonna call it RAD kick. I don't know what they call it. RAD. I can't. I don't know French, right? RAD. So he does an RAD kick, right? Boom. So what's to stop him from then doing another duck hard slash into RAD kick, since you've already proved that you can link off it? So am I guessing that once again, is it the theory then that you do electrocution, right? Did you just do an electrocution move and then they're electrocuted, so you need to reset the electrocution? And then since he does this move, which then electrocutes them, since they're then electrocuted again, could you then do a slide as the off the ground, and then the slide is a hard knockdown again, and they get off the grounded, right? Again, very kind of screen specific thing. So if we're to look at it right here, right? Hopefully you get what I'm getting at. So he does this move, right? And they get pushed pretty far away, but go with the theory, right? So if they're in the electrocuted state right there, and we know that the slide when they're in the electrocuted state keeps them as a hard knockdown, if we position them on the screen correctly, if you then slide after that, is it still a hard knockdown, right? From off the ground to another hard off the ground state. Do you get what I'm saying? And then if we take this a step further, right? I'm not sure exactly where this happens. I think one thing that actually, one thing they showed too, if you didn't notice, is that once have been electrocuted once, his fireballs actually do real block damage, which I think is because you need block damage in games, right? So let me show, man, where does it happen exactly? So he's electrocuted right here, right? So say he does this, boom, boom. So he's knocked down. So that caused technically this hard knockdown state, right? Which the big blue fireball, they're stuck to the ground to the point that the big blue fireball, they have to wake up into it, right? But if you're at this position in the corner, what's to stop you from doing then say this, right? What a similar comment to what they just showed, right? So then you would do the stand slash off the ground, duck hard slash, boom, you knock them back down. Then instead of this, you don't want to do ride the lightning how they showed. You would just do the big fireball then to make them wake into, right? So don't worry about that part, right? Because I think they showed that here too. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see this, right? So he's showing a normal kind of knockdown thing, right? So boom, boom, knocks you down, boom, 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 boom. The guy's stuck, boom, boom. So he's doing that combo. Of course, we know if you had an idea that, of course, we're not going to break the wall, so we're going to the big blue fireball. So the idea is, what resets the electrocution state? Is it each hit? So you electrocute the guy, and then once they're electrocuted, you've done a move that electrocutes them, then it resets. So how do we keep progressing the lockdown combo, whatever you want to call it, right? So again, I'm thinking, assuming that's what it is, because I would assume they don't want fucking infinites, right? So assuming a kind of bullshit combo, bullshit idea, right? Don't worry about this, blah, 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 blah. We've electrocuted the guy once. We somehow opened the guy up or convoy, and boom, 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 boom. We did this, blah, blah, blah. He's electrocuted. We used our electrocution state, right? Boom, we knock him down, right? So you saw him knocked him down. Then we would do the slide, right? So let's go to the point where then he's knocked down. It's a hard knockdown. Then, since we're not close enough to the corner still, we'd go into something then. Again, I'm all over. Roll with me here. Boom, boom. We'd be doing this combo. Boom, boom. Knock them down. Then that hard boom. Then the big blue fireball, right? So you get what I mean? So that would be a way to add in a few electrified states, assuming that it does reset that way, right? But those are the main things that stuck out to me. The Shinakuma neutral could potentially be very annoying. It's kind of troublesome that they would go through purposely the specific idea of showing it, which means makes me think it must be really easy, right? So you're gonna be able to run away with it, neutral with it, whatever. You're gonna be able to pressure with it anytime there's not real air combos, so you just knock the guy down into it. Fuck, dude. I mean, what does he show right here, dude? Like, say, where is this? Again, I'm all over, but hopefully you can get what I'm talking about. I think he shows it here, right? So he knocks him down. Don't even worry about doing like a fireball front. Why would he not just do the Shinakuma to then like Shinakuma, he hard slash fireballs in, air dashes under the protection of it to say, right? Or whatever you want to do, right? So I'm very interested in just how easy Shinakuma is. I'm interested in what is resetting the electrified state. That's what I got from that video, right? But anyway, not much to say about the solo video. I didn't think it was particularly interesting. It looked like he air dash canceled his dust almost for he did a ghetto dust loop like that. But hopefully you can get into some of the ideas I had from that. That's what I took away from that video. The end.